Welcome to today's class. Today we'll be talking about introduction to organization behavior. You all know organizations, and in one way or another, you've been able to interact with organizations. So an organization is consciously a coordinated social unit that is composed of two or more people that function on a relatively continuous basis to achieve a common goal or set of goals. So when you realize in that definition, a organization is composed of people, and people basically, without people, the organization cannot stand. So those people work in a coordinated way, and this allows them to form a particular focus that will allow them to achieve a particular objective. So behavior refers to anything that is anything that a person does and can be observed in some way. So your behavior, different people have different behaviors. So what you do as a person sometimes can affect another person and can form the basis of how you live in society. So organization behavior, therefore, is directly concerned with understanding the predictions and control of human behavior in an organization. So organization behavior allows the managers or the people within an organization to be able to understand and predict the behavior of human in that organization. Organization behavior, in other words, is a field of study that investigates the impact of individuals, group, and structures and how they behave within the organization. So you are able to understand how people, structures behave within a particular organization. For purposes of that, therefore, you are able to understand and apply that knowledge to improve the organization effectiveness. So what are some of the concepts of organization behavior? Organization behavior is directly concerned with understanding the predictions and the control of human behavior in an organization. That means, therefore, it is a field of study that investigates how people behave in an organization. So it's always important to analyze or predict the behavior of people within an organization. Therefore, it helps you to be able to manage the people effectively. So organization, to sum up organization behavior, it is concerned with the study of how and what people act and how they act in an organization. And this allows them to be able to understand what affects performance in a particular organization. So what are some of the fundamental concepts of organization behavior? Like all other disciplines, organization behavior is based on certain key elements. And some of these key elements are what forms the concept of the organization behavior. So one of the elements of organization behavior are the people in that organization. So we realize the people working in an organization will either ensure the organization succeeds or fails. For example, a company like Safaricom, when you go to Safaricom, for example, the people who are working for Safaricom are the people who will enable Safaricom either to grow or not to grow. So it's always important that organization must be run by people who are qualified and people who understand what they are doing. And these groups of people basically have a particular pattern of behavior. So when you go to Safaricom, for example, you realize they have a certain behavior that classifies them as a good organization to work for. The other key element of organization behavior is the structure. So when you go into an organization, you realize they have various structures. And organization basically is a social system. And this allows the structure to be able to act as a guide and to be able to tell people what they're supposed to do and to give what is called the various responsibility for those people in organization. Therefore, without structure, therefore, it means people will not be able to work because they depend on the structure of that organization. For example, KIPS College is a college that deals with technical courses. So you realize we have the head who are the directors of the organization. Following the directors, we have the principal, the head of academics, and the other managers, then the head of departments, and finally the trainers. So that is a structure that the organization uses to ensure they are effective. The other important element is technology. You realize that technology provides resources which people can work with. So technology is changing every day, and because of that change, it is always important for organizations to ensure they adapt to the latest technology, and the people within that organization should be able to advance their skills when it comes to technology. The other thing is the environment. Remember, the organization interacts with the environment, and this environment can either be internal or external environment. No organization works in a vacuum, so you must be able to interact with the environment. So internal environment is the environment that is within the organization, and this environment the organization is able to control, unlike the external environment, which is very difficult to control. Environment affects the people and therefore influences their attitudes, their working condition, and their behavior. So what you learn from the external environment or the internal environment can affect your attitude as a person, can affect your personality and your perspective when it comes to the organization and how people work within the organization. So why do we need to understand organization behavior? One of the things that you must be able to understand about organization is that organization behavior is directly concerned with understanding the prediction and the control of human behaviors in the organization. So you're able to understand the various concerns about the various predictions and control of human behavior. Remember, human behavior is dynamic because it keeps on changing. So when you study organization behavior, you're able to understand what happens within a particular organization and how people behave. The other thing that allows you, or the need to understand organization behavior, is that understanding organization is important because we spend our lives interacting with them. So realize most of the time you spend in the organization. So through understanding the organization behavior, it is always important for you to understand how organizations work, and therefore you'll be able to improve even how you relate with other people within the organization. The other thing is that the study of organization behavior will help to understand ourselves and others better, in a better way. So you're able to understand yourself, and you're also able to understand other people better and how they behave within the organization. So basically, that study of organization behavior will enable people to be able to understand others better and work harmoniously to ensure they achieve a particular objective within the organization. It also allows us to learn on how to predict human behavior and apply some of the useful ways to make the organization more effective. So you're able to understand how people behave, and through understanding how people behave, therefore, it will ensure you to come up with a better way of applying those things that you've learned to be able to improve your behavior within the organization. It also allows you to be efficient, to efficiently manage the human resource. So remember, one of the resources in any organization is the human resource. So human resource basically are the people who work within an organization. So through learning organization behavior, you'll be able to understand how the human capital works and how it behaves. And at the end of the day, you'll be improving your organization. Thank you for listening.